Hello and welcome to Refuse. As always, I'm Plume Noir. Oh, and this is JR. Hi, JR. Um, you may have noticed. You may remember I mentioned a couple weeks ago I had to put down one of my cats. Not Butters. Butters is fine. My elder cat, Munchkin, and it just so happened like, look at this. A couple days later, JR needed a home, and so I took him in, and he's still getting used to the place. They're still fitting in. We're doing the separation, room separation. So, um, I think he just came from under the stairs because I'm petting him and there's dust flying out. I really need to clean under my stairwell. I'll be honest. And he's been exploring, so he's kicking up a bunch of dust. Um, anyway, um. Is this pain week? I wasn't expecting this to be pain week. I forget. JR is still new to this, so usually I can get Butters when she acts up like this out of the way. He is actually climbing me. He's actually headbutting my face. Okay, so let's do something about that. Let's go ahead and kind of get him out of the way. Um, and he keeps coming back. Sorry about this. It's growing pains. You get a new pet, and they don't know all the things. And anyway, is this pain week? Because yeah, maybe he just likes being photographed as much as Butters does. So, all right, all right, come on, buddy. Okay, I guess we're gonna rub the belly. Um, Yeah, is this pain week? Because we have man eaters. We have female. I almost said furries again. Female Furies. We have Captain Marvel. We have Domino Hotshots. Now you're probably thinking, "Oh, what? I see a theme here. They're all women." Well, that's not it. Yeah, these are just bad books. And Black Cat #1 came out this week. I have that over there. I don't know how that is yet. I haven't read it. But War of the Realms came out, the new issue. That series has kind of sucked. Um, but these series are all pretty bad for different reasons. Hot Shots, of course, is a failed Domino book that's just been continued because that's what Marvel likes to do. Captain Marvel, of course, is for some reason. Um, Marvel keeps trying to push her as the Earth's greatest hero, and we don't really know why. She's great. She can't be conquered, and female furry. I almost did it again. Female Furies is bad because it's taking the legendary storyline. The fourth world. There's a reason why they called Jack Kirby, the king. Instead, we're going to take his creation, completely change the storyline on it, change the motivations of characters, so we can do a Me Too. It's garbage. And then there's Maud. Okay. No one is going to get that reference. Um, the main character's name's Maud. There was a Maud TV show back in the 70s, the theme song, and then there's Maud. No one's going to get that joke, Plume. Why did you even say it? So, Maneaters. As you know, the previous issue #8, was the kind of like the handbook, you know, think of it, what to expect when you're menstruating type thing. And and Chelsea Kane said that they're going to do this every four. I'm going to be fighting him the entire video, I fear. He's still new, he's still learning everything, how things go. Um, every fourth issue, they're going to do one of those kind of fill-in issue, kind of world lore type thing. Um, so this issue picked up. They pushed the publishing schedule back a little bit. It used to come out at the end of the month. Now it's going to be at the beginning of the month. But sometimes cycles aren't regular. Am I right? Am I right, ladies? So we have a new artist on this book, and one thing I noticed is right when you open it up, there's a lot fewer people listed. They're not doing some of the silly samurai, dead samurai poetry. Um, and, it's pretty basic. The artist, colorist, supplemental art for the ads. And this is our splash page. this is what we're just going to launch into is Tampon Woman. Okay. So, here we have basically kind of the brochure of ruminations, which is, think of it as the Betty Ford Clinic, but for women who are menstrual. Yeah, I still don't quite understand how this world works. Um, if you get your period and you have toxoplasmosis X, you could turn into a werepanther. Okay. So apparently there are women who don't have toxoplasmosis X, um, who are perfectly fine. They just drink their water and they're good to go. But if you do get your period, and then you can turn into a werewolf, you have to. I, there are in our world birth control medicine that stops your period. And of course it has all the chemicals in it, but you can get it prescribed. It's something that can be dealt with. Um, but it's like a lot of the rad femmes. Everything is about the period, and it's I don't get why it's all obsessed with it. It's the symbol of femininity to some. But when you first open this issue, you read through this, you already know it's going to be bad. When it says, I'm on the wrong part, that uh, here ruminations, we treat the whole patient, dealing with a family member who is panther questioning or panther adjacent is stressful. So are we going to make this an allegory also for being gay? We love women. We also don't want them to turn into giant angry werepanthers and eat us. That is why we feel so passionate about what we do. Ruminations is owned and operated entirely by men. We take women's health seriously. Oh God. This is going to be a commentary on the health care of women, right? And this was written ahead of time. Everything going on in states, like Alabama, with the abortion laws. That would happen too recently to probably have affected this book. But it's a long stay, that people that it's been commented on. Don't want old white men deciding, my health care. Okay, fine. Let's see what this is going to do. So, the ruminations in Malibu is supposed to be, sold as pretty much like a spa. It's not. Uh, it's not. It's, barbed wire, cement walls. Um, it was all, talk about the brochure. It was all there. Like the internet lies. So we get a splash page, where they're all sitting in like a therapy session, and they're being read Charlotte's Web, and this is to test hormone levels and how they react to the reading of the book. And you probably, if you haven't read the book, I do recommend reading the book. We all should have read it as a kid, but I think a lot of people have only seen various movies have been made on it. And so, yeah, you know how it ends. And, Maud's, another woman asks Maud, Charlotte will be okay, right? Probably not. And, yeah, to find out, of course, what happens at the end. And even the old lady starts crying. And, tomorrow we start the Diary of Anne Frank. And notice they're using, the guys they show in this that are, running ruminations are all the male feminist stereotypes. They're all pretty much the whole cuck stereotype. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, they finish, and of course, all the women are crying their heads off and everything. We go back to 3 weeks ago, and oh look, Dad's wearing a tampon woman shirt. The wife picks on him about it. Nice shirt. Thanks. I found a whole box of them. Oh, look at that. It's in a box, and oh, it has man-eaters in it. Oh, look at it. It's Mystery of Trouble. It's like It's like Chelsea said it. It's like she's in her own universe. Huh? Huh? Okay, so why did he put the shirt on? I mean, why did he need to change the shirt? So they get questioning the about the mom's history. You know, you left us to join Scat to fight werepanthers to save the world. And this is serious, Joe. I need you to be honest with me. I need to know. Did you have you gotten your my period? I just have to know for professional reasons. I'm a detective. There's still an open murder investigation. Again, homicide detective, and he is played as one of the weakest characters in the series. Are you worried I might ambush you? Yes. And then she whispers in his ear, all of them? So I assume, she's saying that they're all on their period. And, he says, they wouldn't all get their periods at the same time, would they? You really don't understand menstruation at all, do you, Jeff? No, I guess not. You should look into yourself. Educate yourself a little. I just so picture Chelsea Cain. That's the whole line they love to use. Well, you just need to educate yourself. Uh, okay. You want to take that risk? Because I'll look into things and I may get information you may not like. But anyway, they're pointing out to the fact that he doesn't realize that when women spend a lot of time together, their cycles sync up. And I think there's blue liquid involved too that they pour into cotton, and if it overflows, then the stork brings a baby. I don't know how it works either. I guess maybe I should educate myself too. See, that's what Chelsea Cain thinks, guys. Think, how well we know the subject. I mean, granted, and now my cat is scratching. Great. So let's try and work through that. Like I said, JR's still getting used to things. So yeah, we get this. Just look at the way they draw him, all slumped down, and the menstruators. You fed on him. Talking about the guy at the pencil shop, and that's one of the things about this book. We never did find out what that whole thing was with the different colored pencils. The pencils that said they were labeled one color, but they were actually a different color, like a blue pencil, but it actually said red on it. And then they're all doing, the whatever martial art is, Krav Maga. I don't know that one myself. I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sure. And they're all doing that at the store, and they're all the whole pencil meeting. What was that all about? What is going on? It's like Chelsea is a bunch of ideas she wants to put in, but it's message first, then story. Okay, so don't be ridiculous, Jeff. You know, Dad, and he jumps, and Maud says, "I'm still me. How can a homicide detective be so afraid of blood?" It's not that he's afraid of blood. It's the fact that you can turn into a werepanther and maul the people around you. It's not about the blood. It really, really isn't. And again, that's what we come down to with the radical feminists. The ones that actually cook and paint with the menstrual blood, which is gross. It's not about being afraid of it. But most reasonable guys understand that, hey, women have to go through periods. We know it sucks. We would rather you didn't have to go through it either. Anyway, I'm, the way this book talks to me, I'm trying not to talk back to it. So then she gets silly. See? I tried to show him, but it's like he couldn't see me anymore. And that's how we're going to defeat the patriarchy. Okay, so they're coming up with a plan to defeat the patriarchy. And then, he has this little moment of enlightenment. But the patriarchy is me. No. The patriarchy is the boogeyman. It's like 1984. You have the enemy that you never see, that you can always tell people is out there. Yeah. A lot of other people have covered the whole patriarchy thing far better than I could, and that's not the point of that. We're looking into this book, and oh, I didn't ask Chelsea Kane about her feminist agenda, but I'm paying to learn about it. So, this is me showing you what you're missing by saving your money. Um, and we get the tumbling uh, martial art with Sophie B. I think it's Sophie B is the one that wears the unicorn mask, and Sophie E had it all managed out. She called it Operation Mittenschmerz. Okay, so yeah, Operation Mittenschmerz. She's drawing up a plan. Need soldering iron, Dremel, ketchup, socks, pencil sharpener. Okay, and what is the point of your plan? Are you taking out the patriarchy? Are you busting out of ruminations? So we go back to the intake office, and here's where Maud gets introduced to. I'm Todd, but you can call me Jack. What? What? I'm Todd, but you can call me Jack. You got the hipster beard and top knot man bun. No phones, no bells, no shoelace, no scented spray, blah blah blah. Taking all this stuff away, and no hats. No hats. Dad. Yeah, they make the rules. Now she finally gets her pussy hat taken away from her. Now, mind you, this is 3 weeks ago during the intake, but it does say when she was doing the reading of Charlotte's Web that it was the present day, which means she has been wearing this hat nonstop for 2.5 years. Since, yeah, they got really big in January 2017, so yeah, if this takes place in June 2019, she has been wearing that hat 2.5 years. Yeah. So she takes the hat off, and she gets the whole upset thing, and she yells out, Professor Xavier is a jerk. Editor's note: Uncanny Comic, Marvel Comics Uncanny X-Men 168. In case you don't get the reference, that was the splash page to that issue when Professor X basically demoted Shadowcat, she was Sprite at that time, Kitty Pryde, demoted her from being on the X-Men to needing to train with the New Mutants. And of course, Kitty Pryde was upset because she had already, she started off with the X-Men, and when the New Mutants were started up, why is she a 13-year-old, with the X-Men, but the other ones are on the junior varsity team. So, he basically kicked her back down to junior varsity, and they're the cats are fighting. Great. So we'll continue on. They're just having a little stare off there. Yeah, still a little bit feeling in on the new cats. So yeah, the dad cries. We get the intake form. I'm not even going to go through that. Here's something really interesting. So basically, they have to drink a lot of water. And of course, there's the rumination focused on achieving hormonal alignment with hydrotherapy. It's Panther Spring water for girls, bottled at the source by Estrelcore. Keep the beast at bay. Contact Estrelcore for home delivery. What's interesting is she puts in the background a couple tweets. I appreciate any comic on menstruation and the literal violent eating of men. Really? I super duper do. But Maneaters further cements the toxicity of a gender binary in a heavy-handed, sad way. Huh. I don't know what to make of that. There are some crazy people on Twitter. Twitter was a mistake. Social media was a mistake, really. Then we get this other one. I want to like Image Comics Maneater so bad, but it's so heavily founded in oh my god, really, in turfness. It's the same misogyny, systematic violence it's attempting to tackle. So yeah, Chelsea Kane has gotten flack, mostly from the trans community. But it's what can you do? It's about people that get their periods. Trans people generally don't get periods. Anyway, so it's interesting that she's actually taken the moment to address some of the criticism in the background of the panels. Um, However, this is a long setup for a bathroom line joke. The women, of course, they have one bathroom. The guy, there's just one guy. He doesn't have to wait in line. He goes through, but the women have to wait because there aren't enough bathrooms. Ah, patriarchy. Am I right? Yeah? Yeah, that's patriarchy right there. So, maybe you've seen the Ruminations TED Talk. Okay, Chelsea, I don't know if you know this, but TED Talk, it's lowercase ed. It's like a name, TED Talk. Like a guy named Ted is talking. TED is actually a nonprofit organization. Their name is actually TED. It's all capitals. You probably shouldn't use that because I'm not sure. Don't get me wrong. Don't quote me. I think that may be a trademark. TED Talk might be a trademark, so you probably should not have used that. Um, and yeah, so I asked myself, what is the greatest danger facing us today? And I realized the answer is women. Okay, so this is Ruminations, the company, um, and this is their TED Talk. Everyone applauded. Notice that. Everyone applauded. Now, if she's trying to say this is a real TED Talk, the actual nonprofit organization, put this on their website. Um, yeah, that is totally not, not what TED Talks are these days. This is the complete opposite of what you would see on a TED Talk. Oh, so for that bit alone, I hope they. I don't. I think most of the TED Talks are these days. I think they're especially the TEDx. I think they're garbage, um, and they're heavily biased, and it's one of those nonprofits that sounds like it's doing a good thing, but not really. So for that reason alone, I actually would side with TED Talk with the TED.org if they actually came at you about this about the representation. And of course, we have all the guys hanging around here. You know what we should do? We should help women. That is so beautiful, Ezra. They're going to be so grateful. Or we can open a grocery shop. So, yeah, this is actually kind of a slam on male feminists, which I gotta give Chelsea credit for. Um, I don't trust male feminists myself, so this is actually kind of funny. And how they try and help. It's almost like white knighting. Hey, ladies, we're open for business. Let us help you. It's looking as creepy as possible. Maybe we need an intern, but it caught on. And so they're doing the whole little game thing, the Mandys and the Jennifer, and who has a pig's blood. And they have to actually put an editor's note about what blood sport is. For sport rules, see Maneater number 8. Yeah, that's not going to catch on. Don't think that. I thought that was juice, referring, the pig blood. So they come up with a plan. We played along. We gathered supplies. We bought time. We waited for a distraction. So the older one here. Sheila, you've been acting hormonally unsettled. Everything okay? Who, me? We searched your room. We found Vagisil and colored pencils. Now, I'm not sure what the meaning is of the pencil shop pencils, but you notice they are the wrong colors. The yellow one is listed as sangria, the blue one is listed as cerise. So yeah, I don't understand what the symbolism of the wrong labeled pencil. But here we have them again. I have it under control. I'm managing it. You know the risks. You need special treatment. No, not the. And they capture her, and hormone-resistant women are sent to the gyno suite. And you get this horrible thing. It's a simple procedure, over 99% effective. the distraction went exactly as planned. I'm not sure. Did you get it? Why is that in parentheses? Is it whispered? Roger that. Operation Middle Smirch begins tomorrow. Now, is this an abortion reference? With everything going on, is this a hysterectomy? Um, is this a commentary on healthcare? But I'm going to tell you why our protagonist is a horrible person. You remember, you know how you see these things about how, oh, women are great, the sisterhood. They just sacrificed one of their members. Yeah, she was the older woman, um, but they basically implied that they took the supplies and hid it in her um, in her stuff, and that's how she got caught. Um, or if they didn't do that, since they were waiting for the distraction, you know, they 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 seem to be involved. That was the reading I got from this. If they didn't put this in here, because why does the older woman have the different colored pencils that the girls had? So they just sacrificed their own, or if they didn't, which I think they did, but if they didn't, then they sat by and let it go down. Um, no remorse or anything, and I gotta stop soon because it gets stupid. Then we got the ketchup bottle. My name is Maud. I'm 12 years old, and I've had enough of this. You almost ready, Lucy? I'm changing her outfit. So they're talking about why girls play with dolls, boys don't. But boys play with action figures. Girls usually don't. Why is that? Hmm. Let's do this. Ever wonder why? Ever ask yourself why are American Girl dolls so expensive? Well, it turns it's because the electronics. Let me go back for a second. Hey, lot boys don't play with dolls. Editors. Oh right, it's image. Who needs to, Who needs to edit, right? Um, a lot of boys maybe. So yeah, I'm gonna stop it here because the electronics in here they needed a soldering iron. They alter it. They're talking to Maud's parents, and they're going to have a jailbreak. They're going to enact their plan to take down patriarchy. And then we find out, you remember the tokens, the lion sleeps tonight, why they keep going a wee Moab, a wee Moab? Well, apparently that's the signal. Oh, that's the signal. Oh, yeah. And then it is definitely the song because on the last page they actually use the rest of the song. And, oh, not the rest of the song, but a couple lyrics. But they change one word. They change quiet to wild. I believe it's wild. Let me just check. Yeah, they changed it from quiet jungle to wild jungle. But still the same thing. And you are breaking the. Yeah, that's. You can get busted for that. For using lyrics like that without permission. Um, just saying, Chelsea. Just change that one word. It's not in the use of a parody. You're just changing one word, and this book is garbage. Half hour. I talked on this a half hour, and of course here we have a hipster-looking guy with Estro beer, craft brewed for men. Yeah, we get it, Chelsea. This is. Where's she going with this book? Remember the Werepanthers? Remember the murder mystery that was going on? The one that the dad was investigating and Joe was a member of SCAT? What happened with that? What happened to SCAT? Joe's a Werepanther. Was she infiltrating SCAT from the inside? Are we still chasing down Panthers? Or are we um, remember when X Factor first started, and I'm talking about originally 1986, Jean Grey just came back to life. Original lineup of the X-Men, they posed as mutant hunters called the Exterminators, and they used that as a cover. Think of it like Ghostbusters. People would call them, hey, I think there's a mutant, and they would go to exterminate and capture the mutant, but they were actually training the mutant. It was without Professor X and Cerebro, that was how they found new mutants. They actually crowdsourced it before that was a thing. Um, is that what they've been doing? Is that what Scat's really doing? They're just collecting all the girls, the ones that are having their periods, and to take down the patriarchy. Is that where this book is going? Um, yeah, what happened to what was going on with that pencil shop and the martial arts being done that all the girls were doing? What was up with the pencils being left on the windowsills? Um, why did her parents send her to ruminations? Are they trying to take down ruminations? What's going on? There's it's not coherent. And if they're trying to build to, this whole take down the patriarchy plan, all right, fine. So you're telling me all these women couldn't do it, but now we have Maud, the super 12-year-old, she's the catalyst for this? And that seems like really weird because her parents didn't know she was not drinking the proper water. Um, and of course, the dad he doesn't know, but, we see how weak willed he is. Once he heard the plan, he's in on it. But maybe it's just because he loves his daughter. Remember, this is a rare example where the father actually has custody of the daughter, of the kid. And, there's just this horrible story on the news here where a father he was trying to get full custody of his daughter. And, of course, courts gave it to the mother. He had, he went to the police about stuff. And it just turned out a couple of nights ago, the mother who had custody, well, they kind of had shared custody. She missed the exchange. And, yeah, the mother strangled the 5-year-old daughter and then killed herself. Um, and the father is like, see, I mean, the guy's devastated, but the courts are slanted toward women, and he tried going to the police, he tried getting full custody, and was denied on this because that's the way the court system works these days. So it's interesting in this book, so interesting that the father has custody. And it's not because the mom is, usually the only time you see that happen is when the mother is a complete, waste of space. Maybe addicted to drugs, maybe she's, in and out of jail. She just can't take care of a child, and I mean, can't even fake it. So Chelsea having the father, even though he is a homicide detective that's afraid of blood, um, it's that's very interesting to me that that Chelsea actually did that. But maybe it's because, Joe, the mother, is such a career woman. She's that great. And, I, I don't know. I think Chelsea has some issues with her parents, and that's what we're seeing on this. But anyway, I've gone on this over a half hour, 30 minutes. That's far longer. I don't even need to rate this. Don't buy this book. I buy this book so you don't have to. And yeah, this cover actually, I don't get what the whole gold lips thing, what they're trying to do with that. Um, if you know what this means, let me know. I've been seeing the preview for that, and you know, I thought once I got it in my hands, I'd understand it, but I don't get what the symbolism of the is it bling? I don't know. Gold paint. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like I said, we still have, all these books still. I'll probably get the female Furies next, and I don't know. I don't know if I could do all four of these in a row. Back to back. I might have to sneak Black Cat in there, or one of the other books I picked up this week. So anyway, I'm calling it a night. I've had enough of this, and as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.